There once was a man by the name of Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had wealth, fame, and power beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said. All jokes about the four kids dove aside, there is a very important reason that I'm going to get back to with that little intro. Welcome, hello internet, I am the hero of Julius once again with another One Piece chapter summary. This week's chapter is chapter 1021, The Upheaval of an Era. For those of you Nami fans, the artwork this week is a lovely color spread of a giant Nami holding a couple other members of the crew. You got Luffy over by her leg. I think Chopper's the one she's holding in her hand. And, it's just a nice little artwork that we see. So yeah, for those of you who are fans of Nami, I'm sure some people are going to turn this into playmats or mouse pads or what other various artworks on their walls. But the chapter itself starts off as a lot of these chapters have been starting. The five elders are attacking relentlessly. This one in particular is Saturn, who is bound and determined for Spider Stomp to kill at least one person. He claims to be a man of science, right? And typically, in most media, scientists are proven to be very intelligent people. Look at Vegapunk. He had this 5D chess plan that literally fooled himself, because York is like him, it's part of him. But even then, hey, I've got acid breath that explodes on impact. I have a shockwave of power that paralyzes my enemies. I'm sure he's got some kind of web power because he's a spider. No, I'm just gonna stomp on my enemies. Saturn is my least favorite of the five elders for no other reason than he's kind of an idiot when it comes to battling. I get it. You're super old. It's been a while since you fought. At some point you have to realize you can't just stomp on your enemies. You have to fight them. You have to treat them like they're a little smarter than the insects you keep calling them. I'm going to rant about this for a while. I should probably jump cut away. So as the giants are blocking his numerous failed spider stomps, Luffy starts to notice that Bonney's getting a second wind. Just as Vegapunk's speech continues over the vast oceans around us, he continues to speak about the ancient weapons and how by some twist of fate or some, intention by the powers that be, these ancient weapons are still out there and they are still waiting to be used. Oda even decides to focus on Vivi and Shirahoshi listening in on this because both of them are very well tied to the ancient weapons. Now we know more Momonosuke than Vivi because Pluton is actually in Wano, but the Alabasta poneglyphs are the way to learn where where the Pluton is in particular, as well as Vivi almost lost her homeland due to someone else's pursuit of these weapons. Vegapunk continues on to say that in addition to trying to find power up and use these ancient weapons, there are forces out there who seek to get rid of the lives, the very bloodlines of races who I guess were inconvenient or, more importantly, a threat to the domination of, I assume, the Celestial Dragons. What's interesting about this is the characters Oda chooses to focus on. Obviously, Kuma of the Buccaneer race, because Buccaneers were something connected to the sun god Nika. Lunarians, which also makes sense because King's race lived atop of the Red Line and they probably needed to move them for real estate reasons. But Oda also focuses on Pudding, perhaps implying that the Three-Eye Tribe and their clairvoyant abilities, or perhaps their ability to hear the voice of all things, made them a threat to maybe not the Celestial Dragon's control of the world, but the way to unite those who don't understand each other. For example, we know Luffy, being able to hear the voice of all things, is able to listen to the Iron Giant Emmet as well as Zunisha the elephant. Plus, we know Roger, with the voice of all things, was able to sort of understand poneglyphs because that's how he stole the one from Big Mom, as Big Mom was explaining to Brooke. So maybe there's something about the Three-Eye Tribe that allows them to unite people together in ways that don't require verbal understanding. Vegapunk then goes on to say that no matter how you look at this, he chooses to believe in the intelligence of mankind. And I assume mankind as in Lunarians, Buccaneers, what have you, so don't think this is just regular humans. He believes in science, and that eventually, through the research and work of science itself, you will understand the truth. Vegapunk's a very idealistic guy, and I can respect that. I'm interested to see what happens from here on out, though. Because Vegapunk then goes on to talk about the most important part of this speech, at least in my opinion. While Vegapunk's talking about this, however, Bonney's second wind is in full swing. She is flying up into the air, she's got her fist ready, and she tells Saturn, I believe in gods. I believe that there is God out there. Nika is real. I believe heroes are real. If there's anyone here I got a bone to pick with, it is you specifically, and I'm going to take you down. And Saturn says, you are just a pale imitation of Nika, as he... my brother actually pointed it out to me. I thought he only had like 6 legs. No, these are all 8 spider legs coming up towards her. This is going to be mega spider stomp, let me tell you. He's on his back right now. Like, how else? Or either that or he jumped. No, the way it's angled shows the legs coming upward. So Saturn literally got on his back to stab Bonney with his feet. But as he's trying to do that, Luffy knocks his feet out of the way so Bonney can wind up her punch. Luffy winds up a punch behind her, and the two of them use, hang on, I wrote down the attack here, Liberation Nika Punch. So Luffy, Don Gatling in the background while Bonney's punch hits the main face. They tear him to shreds. We know he regenerates. Leave that part from your mind. Bonney finally got the catharsis of literally punching her problems in the face. As Saturn flitters away, the Straw Hats see that their ship is flying high in the sky. It's actually above where the giants are. So my guess is Luffy, in Gear 5th, will probably turn giant, grab his crew, put them in the water, what have you. But we are getting out of here. We're getting away from Egghead. We're getting away from this Buster Call, this Mega Buster Call, if I'm being honest. And hopefully we're getting away from the 5 Elders. But I'm assuming whatever Emmett does, whatever the Iron Giant does, is going to be enough for the 5 Elders to retreat. I don't know what that's going to be. My guess is a self-destruct, perhaps. Something, maybe not a self-destruct. If it is, that's a shame for Emmett, because I was kind of starting to like him. I would like to know more about him. I'm sure we'll see him in the Joy Boy flashback. But whatever happens, it's going to knock out the transponder snail. Whatever Vegapunk wants to say after this is going to get cut off, because I guarantee you, Oda will not let this Vegapunk speech end without something getting interrupted. The little interruption in the middle to tease us about the D was cute. It was nice. Thank you, Oda. I love when you interrupt yourself, because it means there's going to be so many more chapters of lore. But knowing Oda, knowing the writing style of One Piece, we're going to get the end of the speech very soon, but we're not going to hear the end of the speech. But Vegapunk continues with his speech for the time we have it and says, maybe Roger set this all up intentionally. Maybe everything was left together in one place to get the truth out there, to gather all these powerful figures into one spot, because whoever finds this thing is going to be the one who decides the fate of the world. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll say, I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king. The fate of the world rests in the hands of the person who claims the One Piece. I want to once again point out the importance of phrasing, the importance of your choice of words, and one of the reasons why I always use the official translation, because I'm hoping that that's as close to the intention of the author as possible. I don't speak Japanese. The word claim is used. Not obtain, not find, not spot. The person who claims the One Piece. Which means the person who physically obtains it. Laugh Tale is not going to be found by just one crew. I don't know how many crews, so don't quote me on that. But we get one last panel where we see the four emperors, Shanks, Blackbeard, Buggy, Luffy. Below them, to the right, we see Sabo, Kobe, Garling, Kuzan. And finally, in the last panel, we see Im, Dragon, Sakazuki, and a mysterious silhouette, because Oda loves his mysterious silhouettes. The fate of the world is in the hands of these 12 individuals, probably. I don't know. Garp's probably not dead. I don't know why Garp's not on there. Whatever the reason, Oda picked these specific individuals to focus on. I have many questions, many theories. The silhouette is probably the leader of God's Knights, but if it is, then why show us Figureland Garling? Because he's like the chief of the God's Knights. Probably not the lead fighter anymore. He's a little old for that, but then again, look at the Five Elders. Age isn't really a reason to stop fighting in the world of One Piece. Whatever, though, these seem to be the 12 final players in the game. I'm very interested to see how Kobe's going to handle in this monster show, but then again, Honesty Impact was pretty strong. It's going to be great. It's going to be a huge fight. And of course, as always, we are going to get a break just as things are getting interesting. Look forward to the end of Egghead. It is coming soon. I would say my guess is probably within the next 4 chapters. So the next 5 weeks, since we're on break next week. But that gives us plenty of time to simmer over theories, opinions, facts, and of course, the wonderful world of One Piece we have all grown attached to. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.